state of Minnesota is under a microscope right now for fraud in government programs, with President Trump bringing national attention to the issue. Fox 9's Corin Hoggard is live at the Capitol tonight. And Corin, what does this renewed attention now mean for the governor?
Well, Kelsey, it's something he just can't seem to shake as he runs for a third term as governor. We know there was somewhere estimated around $1 billion in fraud during his first two terms. But, you know, one of his harshest critics on the issue of fraud actually was silent for a few hours today, and we'll get to that in just a second. But first, you know, on Saturday, over the weekend, the New York Times published its report that essentially said that Minnesota has been swamped with fraud under Walz's watch. There was an account on X that tried to amplify that reporting. They got more than 37 million views with a post that essentially said that Governor Walz has stonewalled that investigation.
Tim Walz has a problem. I think what a lot of people are thinking is either he didn't know and it's a problem, or he should have known as governor. It's his job.
All right, so Corin, let's talk about that social media post receiving 37 million views, but that post also disappeared today. So what do we know about who's behind that and where did it go and the rest of the story there?
Yeah, some of that is still a mystery, Kelsey. This is an account on X, formerly known as Twitter, and it claims to be Department of Human Services employees. It says that it represents 480 of them, which is about 6 or 7% of the workforce. The Department of Human Services here in Minnesota has about 7,100 folks. But anyway, it did post this post that got so much attention. It went viral, and as we were investigating that, it suddenly disappeared. The whole account was suspended by X, no word on why. It did eventually come back a few hours later, and suddenly the account had a different name. They did post about that, and you know that they're now not claiming to be the Department of, or at least they don't look like the Department of Human Services anymore. But I reached out to them, tried to get comment directly from them, but they do seem to very much value their anonymity. And, you know, I did also talk to the governor about this, or the governor's office, and they told me that, quote, they don't know who's running that account, but they're confident it's not representative of a large group of employees, nor is there any merit to their claims. They said the U.S. Attorney and the BCA would be working with them if that was actually real.
So, but it was widely shared, and there is this national spotlight on Governor Walz and the issue of fraud in Minnesota. So how is the governor talking about the issue?
Yeah, he did try to control the spotlight that was on him from the national media a little bit today, this weekend, by going on Meet the Press. But even there, he had to answer questions about fraud. And essentially what he said is that Minnesota is a very attractive state. It's a prosperous state with generous people, a AAA bond rating, and that they are investigating and going after fraudsters. I would say, though, his critics would argue that was definitely much too little and much too late.
All right, so a story that we'll continue to follow. Thank you, Corin Hoggard, at the Capitol tonight.